be, and then there'll be time for that.
Now, here's the thing. Your sneaker flying off the shelves. Everyone, you hear the fans. I saw you last night and people crowd you. We understand the attention you're getting now. But we also heard you say, I don't know if I necessarily want to be the face of the league. That's what they have won before.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
I mean, because there's a lot you gotta wear on your shoulders and put this image on, and I just never been that type of guy, They've been on me for a long time.
Wait a minute. Stop talking. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You can and will be that guy.
Well, I'm capable of being that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. Put it like that. I want to be the guy to just show up and hoop and just kill dudes and go home.
Tell us why not.
Like I said, because there's a lot you got to wear on your shoulders. I don't want to be that guy that try to wear this perfect image. I want to be able to, live. You know how I am. I don't want to cause no trouble or get in no trouble, but I want to be able to live my life as who I am. I don't want to try to be something I'm not. So
no, you're gonna be yourself. That's always
So
it's always.
I think that's the main reason.
As you can hear from the audio, Anthony Edwards, stated that he didn't want to, or he's not trying to be a role model. Instantly, when I heard this audio, I thought about Charles Barkley and how he had the campaign with Nike back in the day, talking about how he didn't want to be a role model. Kids should look towards their parents to be role models. And this is in that same ballpark of the exact sentiments, I believe. So Anthony Edwards didn't go into detail, but he just said he wanted to play basketball, similar to what Kevin Durant was, speaking about when they asked him about being a role model, because these athletes realize that they're human too. And when you're put on this pedestal to be a role model, it comes with great responsibility and great expectations, which they already have with the amount of money that they make and with the influence they have with today's kids and just people in general. So they realize the expectations and what's comes with that. It's similar to running for the office of presidency. There's an expectation that you're supposed to have, and people see you as not having these flaws. But at the end of the day, people have to realize that these people are human beings as well. So when you think about Anthony Edwards' statements, he has a point, because I was thinking from the standpoint of, if you're the face of the NBA or the face of any organizational league, the fans or the audience will decide that. You don't say, I'm a leader, and people just take your word for it. You show what you have to offer, and people decide that themselves, and they appoint you or anoint you that position. So when you think about, even from, a smaller scale, the basketball standpoint, being the face of the league, you have to think about none other than Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan was the face of the league, it's not like he said, I wanted to be the face of the league, or just, blatantly came out and said he was the face of the league. The league decided that for him. It was no other choice. He was the unanimous decision because he was so vital to the league. When he left the league, the ratings went down and all of these different things, and they had to rebuild the league up. And then, they had to build up Kobe Bryant, and then ultimately LeBron James. But the fans chose Michael Jordan as the face of the league because of his athletic play, his skill set, and also his tennis shoes. People don't realize, how influential his tennis shoes were for the youth. People were skipping school to go buy these shoes. People were unfortunately harming each other to get these shoes. People were standing in long lines. That comes with influence. And when you have people doing that, you're obviously the face of something. And in his case, it was the face of NBA, which, later he talked about and donated to charities and things like that. But the damage was already done as far as his legacy and what came with that. But he didn't anoint himself. The league determined that, and the fans determined that, just off of his sheer influence and his sheer power. Now, when you think about a LeBron James, he had that same kind of influence, not on the shoe scale, but as far as being on the court and definitely off the court, open his own school up, the influence that he has on society and speaking up on these social issues and all these different things that comes with that celebrity status. He never shied away from those societal issues. Michael Jordan did, but Anthony Edwards don't really talk about it as much because, like I said, he has this huge personality, and I think he does have the ability to be the face of the league. But unfortunately, he lives in an era where there is a lot of social media coverage and there's a lot of more transparency when it comes to those athletes. Anthony Edwards, recently has been in the media over the last couple of years dealing with pregnancy issues and all these different things that would have never came to light during Jordan's era. But unfortunately, Anthony Edwards grew up in this transparency era when everyone can run to Twitter and everyone can run to these social platforms, or even YouTube, or even the media in some forms, and, put their thoughts out and make accusations and allegations against people. So Anthony Edwards doesn't have that advantage. But being the face of the NBA, like I talked about earlier, doesn't mean you're perfect. It just means that you're the most important to the league, and the league would crumble without you, or to some degree it would decline. So people look at the definition of the face of something as, this almighty person. But at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all make mistakes. We all have our flaws. And Anthony Edwards is, from his statement, he's young enough to realize, even though he's very young, I think he's under 25, even though he's that young, he still is old enough to realize that when you put that out there that you're the face, then people treat you a certain way. You, like I said, you have those different expectations, even though whether you like it or not. And I think him stating this is what Kevin Durant and even Charles Barkley was saying, that you should be looking towards the people in your family. You should be looking towards your teachers and things like that for role models. I'm just an athlete and I'm an artist at heart, but at the same time, I have flaws, and I'm not looking to raise someone's child other than my own. I'm looking to set an example in a way, but at the end of the day, it's all about putting out my best work and then leaving a legacy. But I'm not trying to be a politician, or I'm not trying to be this, monumental figure. At the end of the day, I'm trying to put the best performance I have and provide for my family and create generational wealth. All this other stuff that comes along with it, it's just a bit much. So when you think about LeBron, to a degree, he's been playing over 20 years, pretty much flawless career. He had to deal, he didn't have social media as much when he first came out in 2003, but towards the later years he did. And, they tried to nitpick him for everything, even things that may not be true. These allegations of, performance enhancing drugs and things like that, just because he played a long time, but he's taking great care of his body, and he's, spent a lot of time and effort and money into himself to play this long. But they want to put those accusations like that out there. And, it's that Batman mentality. If you live long enough, you'll eventually become the villain. So you can't, go do anything for 20 plus years and be completely flawless without anyone having something negative to say about you, no matter how positive a person you are or how you carry yourself in the most light. Somebody will say, well, he stunk one day, or, he's just too positive, which I didn't know was a flaw, but, people will find anything to nitpick, to find a negative about you. And I think Anthony Edwards just living his life and to the best of his abilities, and not looking for that gratification or looking for that confirmation from others, is what ultimately makes Anthony Edwards, because, he has the cool name Ant-Man. He can jump out of the gym. He can put up points and all these things. But at the end of the day, he's still a young kid from Georgia at heart. And, he's not always been buttoned up. And most people think that he doesn't have this stellar PR team, but, maybe his PR is being himself. A lot of people try to emulate other people and try to be this person that they're not. But at the end of the day, if you're yourself, people have to respect you for it. And it's no other than what we're going through now in society. People are accepting people for what they are. It comes with criticism, but at the end of the day, we know at least who you are, and you're consistent. You're not trying to portray someone else. So, like I said, I think the face of the league or any organization, you still have to realize that these people are human and they have flaws as well, just like anybody else. And, take people off this pedestal you're trying to take them off of, because, eventually people mess up and people make mistakes. So, tell me what your thoughts about Anthony Edwards not want to be the face of the league. And until next time, I'll see you next time.